This year's budget seems to be all about housing. Clearly there's a political concern about sustained housing affordability challenges, and so there's a couple of things that we think are worthy of drawing to your attention. The first is this new link between superannuation and the ability to purchase a first home. So the government is allowing from the 1st of July contributions that are voluntary to be withdrawn up to a limit of $30,000 to be used for the purchase of a first home. We think this is a really interesting planning opportunity for parents and grandparents to think about opening a superannuation account for children of any age and start making voluntary contributions to build up a nest egg for a first home. There's other implications for older Australians too, isn't there, Rodney?
Yes, there is. So basically from the 1st of July this year, or next year, homeowners that have, for older Australians, so you do have to be older than 65 years of age. If you've owned your principal residence or your family home for a longer than a 10-year period, you will be able to downsize that family home and contribute an after-tax contribution of $300,000 from the sale proceeds of that home into the superannuation environment. So these contributions are in addition to the existing rules that do come into effect in July, so in 6 weeks' time. So the post-tax contribution of $100,000 and the pre-tax contribution of $25,000. So there are two measures that do not apply in this instance, and that is the work test. So having to work 40 hours over a 30-day period during a 12-month period, or having in excess of $1.6 million in your superannuation account balance, you will still be able to make that $300,000 contribution. So the question is, how will that affect housing prices all around the country, whether you're in a suburban or outer ring, in the eastern seaboard especially. Who's to know? So
the other impact on housing prices, I think, will be this additional levy on big banks. So 6 basis points, so 0.06% additional levy which is being charged on the big banks. One way or another, we think will find its way into additional borrowing costs for lenders. We think that this is really part of a broader credit rationing that's going on. So the regulators and the government trying to reduce the amount of loans that consumers are taking for all range of purposes, but particularly for investment property lending. So we think that that's probably likely to have a dampening effect on the housing market. So remain cautious about housing prices. What about the impact of this levy on bank prices themselves?
On bank prices. So there are two aspects of that, Catherine. So the market capitalisation or the share value of the big four banks, seeing that they do make up close to 45% of the Australian share market in terms of their capitalisation, and the percentage of dividend income that will be distributed to shareholders moving forward. So during the bank cycle in September later this year, there may be a downward pressure on the amount of income that shareholders that own bank stocks in Australia will actually receive.
So watch this space. As said, this year very strong flavour in a particular area, but we certainly will be in touch to discuss the implications for you personally. Look forward to talking to you soon.